Hello, I am Sylph, and that guy over there is Matt.
Hello.
And welcome to Sylph Uncensored. We've got a video today from Timcast IRL titled "Democrats Have Brainwashed Americans to Reject Family, Having Kids." So, I don't know. I mean, I'm married and I'm trying to start a family.
Yeah.
I don't know about your plans for the future, but
I'm not married or having kids. I've been brainwashed.
Also, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but having kids is your choice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So far, I mean, the Republicans haven't made any rules or laws yet that, force people to have kids.
Well, they kind of have.
Who knows? Could happen.
Right now, there are many states where if you are raped and you become pregnant because of that, you just have to have the kid.
That's true. There's that.
Including even if it's incest, which is very disturbing. And ruins people's lives. So, yeah. Way to go, conservatives. All right, let's get into this video.
Getting close to their 40s with no family, no kids. They're listless. They're depressed.
Wasn't Tim Pool like really close to his 40s with no family and no kids? He has a family now, but
I was about to ask about that, but I've never heard anything about his, any wife or kids from him. He does not seem somebody who's responsible enough to have kids.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like conservatives want you to have kids like as soon as you turn 18. Just like 18, you should be pregnant that day.
Right.
A lot of women.
Well, at least Matt Gaetz believes that.
Happened to millennials where they're almost 40 and they're going, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I'm like, how do you not know? And I don't blame.
I'm sorry, but like having like a family and kids like that doesn't mean you know what you're doing with your life.
Right?
Like that's just not going to solve the problem.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the biggest issues where people don't want to have kids is how expensive it is to have kids in the USA. It is so goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
So if you want people to have kids, make it less expensive.
Yeah, maybe not like put tariffs on everything and cause inflation to go up.
Yeah. Or give people incentives to have kids. Give people like a tax break. I know there's the child tax credit, but the Republicans fucking hate that and want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But like, also just fix the fucking economy for the middle class.
Yeah.
Right now people have to work multiple jobs just to get by on their own.
Yeah.
Not even with any kids.
Yep.
So the rent is too damn high. The cost of everything else is too damn high. And the wages are too damn low. Minimum wage in the United States is $7.25 an hour.
Yep.
You cannot live on that.
Yeah, it's federal minimum wage.
The minimum wage, yeah, true. It's different in different states and localities, but yeah, federal minimum wage.
In Florida.
Oh, no.
That is the minimum wage.
But minimum wage was originally designed to be a living wage.
Yep.
Like you were supposed to be able to get by just fine on minimum wage. And now, minimum wage hasn't gone up in 16 years.
Yeah.
And inflation has raised the price of everything else.
Yep.
And guess what? If you raise minimum wage, poor people have more money. And poor people tend to spend their money. So they spend it back into the economy.
Yep.
Which is good for the economy.
Yep.
So do not believe conservatives when they lie to you and say, oh, if we raise minimum wage, you'll all lose your jobs. No, you won't.
Right.
Blame them as individuals for the world around them. They didn't learn And what have we done as a society that created people that don't understand what to do with their lives? I think we have to make sure the next generation and the younger people that
Force them to have kids, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
of course. That's the way to go.
learn there is a path towards success. There is a means to doing it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And going down this weird leftist path of darkness will leave you with nothing but misery.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
weird leftist path of darkness.
well, he's saying like having a family and having kids is the path to success. Like it's not like not the path, but you know, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
if you're not
that's
planning,
what you want.
if you're not like planning for that, it could very much be not a path to success, right? It could be the very much wrong direction.
The path to poverty.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, if that's what you want, great. That's what I want. That's why I have chosen that path. But
Yeah.
like, if that's not what you want, that's fine too.
Yep.
Why are conservatives obsessed with people having kids?
Because they're judgmental assholes and they judge everybody.
Yeah, I also think it's a racist thing too. Like,
Yeah.
basically, there's two ways to keep a country's population sustainable, right? It's either the population has kids to replace itself as it ages out, or you allow immigrants in, or both, a mixture of both. And for
Right.
basically the entire history of the United States, we've had a mixture of both. But now that white people are approaching not being more than 50% of the population, the conservatives, who are racist, are going, oh no, we need white people to have more kids. And we need to stop all the immigrants from coming in, because their value of like the value that they determine people to have is based on their skin color.
Yeah. Basically describing the Great Replacement conspiracy theory.
Yep. And even if the Great Replacement were true, which it's not,
Yeah.
but even if it were true, what's wrong with white people being a minority?
Yeah.
Oh, they're afraid that they're going to be treated like they treat minorities.
Pretty much. Yeah.
created the ideal person for a leftist as just the best consumer. So it's like a 40-year-old with no kids. All they're doing is just buy products all day to fill that.
That's the fuck are you talking about? People with kids are even more consumer than people without kids, because they have to buy stuff for themselves and their children.
Yep.
Void in their soul because they've stripped
The void in their soul. Do you feel like you have a void in your soul? Definitely have kids. That will 100% fix the problem. Absolutely have kids. You know what?
That's
also,
right.
if your marriage is on the rocks, definitely throw some kids in there. That's also a great idea. Thank you, conservatives, for that wonderful life advice.
Yeah.
them of all their identity. They've stripped them of the potential to be a father or a mother. They've stripped them of being an American.
What are you talking about? No one has stripped anyone. Well, like some people have. Forced castration is a thing, but like the left isn't telling people to not have kids. The left is telling people do what you want. If you want to have kids, do it. If you don't.
Wait, are you saying that this guy is and Tim Pool are setting up a straw man that they can tear down easily?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I know that's very unusual for Tim Pool. Yeah.
It's very, very much so.
They've stripped them of being a child of God. They've stripped them from all these different things. They've
Strip them of being a child of God.
I don't know how
Democrats
it's even possible,
aren't religious,
but whatever.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but every Democratic president that has ever been has been Christian.
I believe that's true. Yeah.
ripped away every label from them. So all that's left is just being a consumer and buying products, and that just trying to fill that soul void in their soul.
And I got to give it to Andrew Tate on this one, because he had a really funny tweet where he said something like, the worst thing about being rich is that there's nothing left to buy, so you just drive around looking for steak. And I actually, it's funny.
So he's quoting Andrew Tate.
Yep.
Okay.
So he was talking about like trying to fill the void in your soul by having kids, which to me is like, that's a very bad reason to have kids.
Right.
You know, you should have kids because you want to raise a human being and give them better opportunities and a better life than you have. You know, you shouldn't be having kids for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
But he's saying, you know, have kids for selfish reasons. Have kids because, you know, it will make you feel fulfilled or whatever.
Yeah. Also, apparently, it will make you poor, and then you won't be forced to drive around looking for someplace to get steak or something.
Yeah. Did he mean steak
as
as in like meat, or steak as in like a share of something?
Well, I think he was Andrew Tate quote was about steak, the meat,
Okay.
right? He's going to drive around and find steak because he has too much money or some bullshit.
Okay.
Which is very sad for society.
But yeah, another thing I want to say is like, there are lots of things that can give you fulfillment.
Yeah.
You know, kids aren't the only thing that will make you feel fulfilled. Or,
Right.
you know, everyone is different. Sometimes, yeah, kids are the only thing that will make someone feel fulfilled. But like,
yeah,
that doesn't apply to everyone. You know, there are lots of people that get their fulfillment from other things, and that's fine.
Right.
You know,
Like dunking
I
on
do
Tim
want to
Pool.
have kids, but the thing that makes me feel fulfilled right now, not having kids, is my work.
Yeah.
You know, I work for myself. I work on a product that I really enjoy working on and think is a good thing, and I, you know, pour my heart and soul into that, and that makes me feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
So I feel
and as a bonus, you get to dunk on Tim Pool.
Yeah. I don't make money off that, but then again, I also don't
There's
make
some fulfillment.
I don't
right?
make much money off my actual job either. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet, but go ahead and sign up for port87.com and subscribe to our advanced features, and you can you can help me keep going on it, make a really cool product. Anyway, so I feel like if you don't have any fulfillment in your life without kids, that's probably more to do with you than, you know, the lack of kids. Like you I feel like everyone should find fulfillment in what they do.
Yeah.
You know, and if you feel like you're unfulfilled, it's probably because you're not doing something you enjoy or something that you feel is valuable. And sometimes people just can't help that. You know, they don't have the opportunity to do something that makes them feel fulfilled. And that sucks. And that's, you know, I want a world in which everyone can do something that makes them feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And apparently conservatives don't want that world. Conservatives want a world where the only thing that can make you feel fulfilled is having kids.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what, like, we're, you know, when we're like, what do you want to do for the weekend? It's like, let's find another restaurant and hang out and have drinks and good food. But it's not, I think for Andrew,
that's kind of what animals do. Animals are pretty famous for, you know, eating and and just hanging out. You know, I've never seen a cat unhappy that it doesn't get to do taxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
he's sure. I wouldn't know about not being able to buy anything you want, like he's saying. But this point about driving around and just trying to find steak is true for all.
Then again, I don't actually know. Maybe my cat, maybe every time I sit down and do my taxes, my cat is looking at me going like, God damn it, I wish I could do that. I wish I could, crunch numbers.
Don't talk to me about taxes. I've had tax issues this week, so shush. Move on.
My wife said she's all thumbs and paws. Yeah, she couldn't use the keyboard.
Yeah.
She needs a special kitty keyboard for.
I've seen a lot of posts
taxes.
of people on like Mastodon of what their cats have typed to various coworkers and such.
Yeah, just like H H H H H H H H H H
Yeah,
H H
a
H
lot of
H.
H's and M's. Yeah.
Yep. Just one letter over and over again. You'll never do your taxes that way.
That's right.
All adults. And I think the real proposition is what he's revealing, and what I think a lot of these millennials are revealing when they say that they don't know what to do with their lives is they didn't have kids. And I would just say to everybody, have kids now. Don't wait. I'm turning 40 in a few months, and I just had my first.
To everybody?
Yeah.
So even the people that vehemently don't want kids, you want them to have kids. No, that
And
will
who are-
ruin their life.
Seriously not in a position to have kids, to support kids. That'd be bad.
So that's bad for a number of reasons. The biggest reason is that everyone who wants to have kids should be in a position to have kids.
Right.
In my ideal world, that's what it would be. You know, if you want to have kids, you should be able to have kids.
Right.
First kid, and I should have had a kid way long ago. In my own defense, I was very poor when I was in my 20s and didn't have a place to live. I was,
Yeah, but that's Tucker and Charlie had this great clip that would go viral.
So he kind of just gave
So he
away
knows
the
the
plot
problem.
here.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you were poor, so you couldn't have kids.
And then he started taking that Russian money and didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Then you got rich and you could have kids. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is the whole problem right there. In America, you have to be rich to have kids. I mean, you don't have to, but like it becomes astronomically easier to have kids when you're rich.
Right.
When you're poor, you just kind of have to like wear yourself down working like multiple jobs just to scrape by and give your kids like a bare minimum living.
Yeah.
Every couple months, and it was Tucker. Like, Charlie goes, "Hey, do you have any life advice for our students? You're about to see them." Ryan knows the clip I'm talking about, and
So in how I envision like helping people have kids, right now one of the biggest problems in the US is homelessness. You know, there are so many people experiencing homelessness that is absolutely devastating to their life, to society, to have that many people going through homelessness. And the government just isn't helping them. And England solved that problem in the 50s and 60s when they developed council houses. And if you couldn't afford a house, you could live in a council house. And tons of people did that, had kids, raised them in council houses, and their lives were better for it.
Yeah.
So the idea of public housing is pro-children.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to have kids if you are not living on the street or like using 2/3 of your income to cover rent.
Yep.
Yeah.
it was. Tucker goes,
Didn't England like sell off those houses?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they have a homelessness problem again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so.
get married.
Because capitalism ruins everything.
It certainly does.
Can afford. Take a job you're not qualified for. Live boldly. He's like, and he says, I've wasted more money in my life than I can remember. But
And, people will say like, oh, but capitalism breeds innovation. So we have to innovate by keeping housing private. And it's like, what fucking innovation? The only innovation in housing in the US in the past like 50 years is that houses are now incredibly cheap material wise.
Yeah.
They've gotten more expensive and use cheaper materials.
Yep.
So now you'll buy a house and like you immediately have problems with that house right away.
I mean, no, you don't. Nobody can afford a house. We're just renting, and these big private equity firms are buying up all the houses, and we're renting from them.
Yep. But you get these new build homes that don't have enough insulation. The trusses in the attic are all like broken. They have like electrical problems, they have gas problems, they have water problems, like immediately.
Yeah.
He's like, it was fine. All the room service was worth it. It was fine.
That's the innovation of
real
capitalism.
Bitter pill for him
Yeah.
to swallow is the time he wasted.
Yeah.
And so when you said that, when you said you have kids now, it's like, yes, don't wait. Even me,
Don't.
like me and my wife, we have 3 kids. We're sort of on the
Don't wait until you're ready. Have kids now, despite the fact that you're not ready.
Yeah. It's not like something that could ruin your life.
timeline that you would kind of expect or what. But even me, I'm like, man, I kind of wish I would have started a little earlier.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if I had, so I was sleeping on couches and partially homeless. There was no opportunity
There
for
is
me.
some threshold that we,
But I say this because I know there.
But then he became a right-wing grifter,
That's right.
and that solved all his problems. There we go. Everyone should just be a right-wing grifter.
That's right.
That'll work out.
That solved all our problems.
Yep.
People out there that are like, I wish I could. The
Of course, this fucking dude would use an Alienware laptop.
If you are in the lower income category but stable,
Yeah.
have kids.
Yeah, but exactly. So if you have this image in your head of like, well, I want to,
Yeah, if you're in the lower income category and are stable, have kids.
Yeah.
That way you can remove that stability.
make sure I have like the at least a 3-bedroom house and be able to afford that. And I
The
don't
thing
wanna
is
rent.
though, like
I wanna
being
have, like,
in a lower income category in the US inherently means you're not stable.
Right.
If you can barely afford your car to get to work, and all of a sudden, let's say you have some engine problems or some transmission problems, and it's going to cost you $4,000 to fix your car, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't afford that. So all of a sudden, you don't have a car.
Yeah.
And now instead of taking 30 minutes to get to work and 30 minutes to get home for 1 hour a day, now you have to use public transportation, which Republicans have consistently blocked any attempt to improve. So now it takes you 3 hours to get to work and 3 hours to get home. So you're spending 6 hours a day commuting because you can't afford to fix your car. That is instability. If one emergency causes you to become financially unstable, you weren't financially stable to begin with.
Yeah.
bought it. Like, no, just listen. Children are a blessing. It's a value statement that you have children, you get married because of the value systems you hold. You don't because people have told you it's a burden. People have told
That's
you
a
that
lie.
it is going to weigh you down, that it's
Yeah.
gonna totally demolish your plans.
Those are
No,
demons.
No,
Financially, it is a burden. Like, you can't deny that.
Yep.
Because in the U.S., we don't prioritize helping parents.
Yeah.
In fact, often we demonize that.
We token help them, right? By there's the child tax credit, but then again, that doesn't help anybody who's poor because if you're not making enough money, you're not getting taxed to make a credit worth it, right?
No. But like programs like WIC that are specifically designed to help families, to help children.
That's true too. Yeah.
The
We're cutting
Republicans
funding for that.
hate those programs and want to get rid of them. And they try to get rid of them.
Yep.
They're always cutting benefits.
Yeah.
Every time they have the chance, they cut benefits like WIC and SNAP
Yep.
that are designed to help people have kids. So, Republicans will say things like, oh, your value system should prioritize kids. Meanwhile, their own value system does not prioritize kids.
Yeah.
So they're just fucking hypocrites.
here's what's true. When you get married, like I believe this with all my heart. God will bring the provision. God will find a way to help you take care of your kid.
Okay, and when that doesn't happen and you end
Yeah,
up on the
really.
street, what, did God
Pretty
just not
much.
like you enough? Was he not paying attention?
You didn't pray hard enough.
Yeah, like there are definitely no homeless children in the United States, right?
Right. No
Yeah.
homeless Christians either.
Yeah. Yeah. So God's not real, and God will not provide for you because things that aren't real can't provide for you. That is why we have systems like SNAP and WIC. And we need a system like that for housing. You know, you can't hide behind, like you can't hide behind God and pass atrocious policies and say you're pro kids. You're just not.
Yeah.
And if you commit to your family, I believe that's true.
I'll add this. All of that's a lie. The idea of a burden. The studies are coming out saying, oh, actually, women with kids are much happier.
Oh,
That's not what people mean by a burden.
Right.
Like, of course, if you want kids, kids will make you happier, but it's still a financial burden.
Yeah.
It's just worth it to a lot of people. It's worth it to me. I want kids knowing that it's going to cost me a lot of money to raise those kids.
Yep.
You know, it's absolutely a financial burden, and trying to tell people that it's not is just disingenuous
Yeah.
and hypocritical. And like maybe for someone super rich because of all the Russian money, like Tim Pool, you know, it's not a burden to him because he's got all that Russian moolah that he can just throw around.
Yep.
But most people were not paid millions of dollars by the Russians to promote right-wing propaganda.
Yeah.
Atlantic article.
Yeah. Yep. Oh heavens! Who would have thought after millennia of human generation, they were like, oh, actually, women like having kids. They're lying the whole time. I can only say this.
No one is saying that all women don't like having kids. Where the fuck is he getting this from? Some women don't like having kids.
Yeah.
And
It's making stuff up.
If you say that that's not true, then you're a liar.
Yeah.
Or you're just like incredibly ignorant. But Tim Pool's both, so.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know most people have had kids who are watching and younger than me. Not a burden. Not a burden.
Yeah.
Hold on. So he's saying most people who've had kids, it's not a burden. So that's not true. It's always a financial burden. Kids cost money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's trying to say like, oh, it's not a burden emotionally, that it's good emotionally, which fine, I can agree with that. But even he has to admit that to some people it is.
Yeah.
It's
Not
like, by the way, you know, in this time,
And he did admit, because he said most people, which means there are some people that it is an emotional burden for.
I will just say, like, I've been.
Yeah, and we're also kind of ignoring that it's not just a financial burden, but it's also a burden of time and effort, right?
Yep. Yeah, and oftentimes that will be fulfilling to you.
Right.
You know, the time you spend with your kids, yes, it's time out of your day that you could be using for someone else, or something else, but most people want to do that. They want to spend time with their kids. Some people don't. Donald Trump definitely does not seem to want to spend any time with his kids.
Pretty much.
So, you know, some people, they just don't like their kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people want to spend time with their kids. So, you know, that time is not a burden. That time is a blessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some people like Donald Trump, that time is not a blessing. That time is a curse that they would rather avoid.
Yep.
Like Donald Trump, the president of the United States, views time with his children as a curse.
Yeah.
The guy that these guys love.
Yeah.
since it happened. And, you know, I was leaving yesterday and my kids just like lost it just when I was leaving. And when I come back to them, they tackle me and like, I love you. And they give me kisses and all this stuff. I'm like, that emotional connection is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
There is no steak you can eat. There is no car you can buy. There is no job you can work. There is nothing that even comes close to that. And by the way, it's a lot of work. I'm not trying to like sugarcoat. It comes with a lot of work, but that transforms you into a person that can have even more joy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm very glad for his kids' sake that he feels that way about his kids. That's awesome. Everyone, I would hope, would feel that way about their kids, but some people don't. And denying that is just crazy. And to say that everyone should do that, regardless of whether they would view that as, you know, a worthwhile investment of their time. You know, first of all, no one's saying that that's never a worthwhile investment of your time. You know, people on the left don't say that. They say, you know, if that's what you want, absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
No one is saying don't have kids even though you want them.
Yeah.
But for these guys to say that the left, the big scary left, says that is just fucking crazy to me. Like, no, I think for people that want to have kids, I really hope that they feel about their kids how this guy feels about his, regardless of whether they're on the left or on the right.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure that's a common way of looking at it across the entire left.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, kids aren't for them. They don't want kids. They've planned their life without kids, and that's fine. Everyone should have that choice.
Right.
But I guess these guys don't think people should have that choice. These guys think people should be, I guess, forced to have kids. I don't know if I'm making a straw man. I'm just extrapolating from what they're saying to the logical conclusion, which is that everyone should be forced to have kids.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're saying.
Yeah, because they have not at all brought up the concept of a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's if it weren't true, humans wouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I posit this to liberals all the time. When
Like, even that's not true. Like, humans are social animals. And, you know, the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Plenty of people don't want kids and still add value to society by doing things that help other people raise their kids or doing things that society needs done so that other people in that society can raise their kids. I'm not saying the purpose of society is to raise kids, but that's the effect of having a society, is it helps other people raise kids.
Yep.
And, you know, that's one of the purposes of society. It's not the only purpose, is what I meant to say.
Right.
You know, society should be designed to allow people to both have kids if they want and to not have kids if they don't.
Yeah.
and they say things like, kids aren't for me, you know, I'm like, you will love it so much you have no idea, because if it wasn't.
I mean, this is like people saying that homosexuality is a choice. You know, if someone
it's
just
not
doesn't
quite the
want
same thing,
kids,
Yeah.
then trying to force them to have kids is like forcing a gay man to be straight.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
well,
not what they want.
technically, he's not forcing people. He's trying to argue and change their mind about it. But
Yeah, like
we haven't
conversion
gotten to
camp.
forcing yet.
Yeah.
So to be fair,
Like if anyone is trying to brainwash people, it's the guy saying, "No, you don't know what you want. I know what you want."
that's true.
Right? Like we on the left are saying, whatever you want, go ahead and do that. If you want kids, have kids. If you don't want kids, don't have kids. It's your choice.
Right.
Isn't the case, humans would have gone extinct a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, but it also maybe speak to this, because I know it's true.
But that's not true. So, like, again, I want to bring up the concept of a society. You know, it would be true for, let's say, like, I don't know, lizards. If lizards don't want to have kids, then, you know, if that's the selection pressure for lizards, then lizards would go extinct.
Yeah.
But human beings aren't lizards.
Right.
Human beings are social animals. We live in social settings. We live in communities.
Yeah.
And communities have other roles in society than child bearers.
Yeah.
You know, we have roles that can like help other people, help society. Like I was saying before, we have all these different roles, and you don't have to have kids. Humans won't go extinct if you choose to not have kids.
Yeah.
There are plenty of things that you could do. Let's say you don't want to have kids, but you want to, like, you don't want to give birth to kids, but you want to raise kids. You can adopt kids. Like, that helps society. Or you don't want to have kids, but you want to be a teacher or something. You can teach kids.
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty of things that you could do. Or let's say you don't want to have kids and you want to be a fucking garbage man. It's hard to raise kids when you're surrounded by garbage. So, you know, garbage men are very valuable to society. And if you don't want to have kids and you want to be a garbage man, that's great.
Or you could have kids, ignore them, become president, and try and destroy society.
Yep.
Also, I don't think we were talking about lizards. I don't think lizards really raise their young much. I don't. There's a bunch of different lizards, but you know, you don't see the Geico gecko with his kids, you know, going around. But he's out there selling insurance.
Yeah, because that's because, like, as far as I know, lizards aren't social animals. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
I'm not a lizard expert, whatever
Right.
that would be called.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Herpetologist.
Like it changes.
Right.
I'm not a herpetologist, but you know, I think, and if lizards are social animals, then imagine I said something else.
Okay.
Is you. Like you
Oh, yeah.
become a better human. Only, by the way, this only counts if you don't just be like, you know, leave your baby mama and, you know, never.
Yeah, some
you know,
people are-
So that's not what we're talking about. If you commit yourself to it, it will make you a tremendously better person.
Well, because it's lifestyle behaviors that acknowledge the reality that you're an eternal being, like spiritually, but that the world's going to go on after you die. And a lot of people can't accept their own mortality. And that's what's so beautiful about children. That's what's so beautiful about investing and loving your country.
Okay, that's a new one. Have kids to survive your death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's some people kind of feel their kids are like an extension of them, and that their life goes on when they have through their kids. And then, of course, then they get all freaky when their kids are delaying having kids.
Yep.
But that's beside the point.
I need you to give me a grandbaby.
That's right.
But yeah,
For me to live
it's-
forever.
It's kind of funny that they're arguing all of this from like a Christian viewpoint when like an evolutionary viewpoint makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
You know, under the Christian viewpoint, like there's no reason to have kids. You know,
Yeah.
none at all. Because like we're all just going to survive our death in heaven or hell, right? And
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter. But from an evolutionary perspective, it makes a lot of sense that like huge parts of the population would want to have kids.
And
And
it was the Christians who like had these people called monks and nuns who were not supposed to have any kids.
Yep.
Not saying they always followed those rules, but you know.
Yep.
Investing and loving in your church and your
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Matt. Yeah, if you're like a Catholic priest or something, the church tells you to not have kids. So that's interesting that they're arguing from the standpoint of Christianity when Christianity literally tells some people to not have kids.
Yep.
community, because these things will outlast you. And so the other side is just
It's nihilism.
It's nihilism. It's just buy a bunch of Funko Pops and like try to ignore that voice in the back of your head saying this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And
Okay. I have
If you have a voice in the
feelings.
back of your head that's saying this is wrong, you're having more problems than kids will fix.
I have feelings about Funko Pops.
Oh, okay.
They are they are what is it called? Manufactured scarcity.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Labubus. You
Yep.
know, we can agree that people should not buy Funko Pops. This guy and I agree on that.
Yeah.
But you know, if you want to waste your money on Funko Pops, I can't stop you. And I'm not going to try to stop you. I'm just going to try to convince you that Funko Pops do not have actual value.
Yeah.
They have artificial value.
Right. Well,
But, you know, some people don't care. And
I don't think I
they
know
do that
anybody
anyway.
who's buying them for like an investment or something.
we like to collect things. That's another thing about humans is we
Yeah.
really like to collect things. For me, it's
Right.
pens. I have like so many fountain pens. This one is a solid copper fountain pen, and I love it, and it's so cool, and it's one of like 30 of my pen collection. And it's pens are not manufactured scarcity. You know, pens are everywhere. Tons of people make them. So I don't really have a problem with collecting pens because that to me is like, you know, that's fine. But specifically things like Funko Pops and Beanie Babies and Labubu, these things that they have artificial scarcity because you're going to have like the limited run, limited edition Funko Pop or whatever, and they're just going to have more and more and more and more of these limited edition Funko Pops, and you just have to buy all of them if you want to complete your collection. It's bad collector behavior, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like gambling. Kind of. It's not a perfect analogy, but it's kind of like gambling.
Yeah. Similar thing going on there.
Yeah. But there are things that I like to collect. And, you know, I really try hard to avoid starting to collect things that have artificial scarcity.
Yeah.
Invest in things that are lasting, that will last beyond you, that
And
are
are difficult
in
to
some
do.
degree are eternal.
All right, guys, you guys. All right, I'm gonna have babies tonight. All right, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's your turn. Watch out, Phoenix.
Come out. My,
Maybe we crawl before we walk.
What's the Airbnb we're staying at right now? Let's have as many as we can. But
That's a weird on-air proposition.
Yeah.
Here's my address. Let me come in you. Weird.
no, a lot of nurses
that's very
always report
creepy.
talking to people when they're on their deathbed. And it's never that people regret working too hard. It's always that they never spent enough time with their family, with their loved ones. So, you know, the idea, it's been brewing in my head, and especially after everything that happened with Charlie, it's even brewing in my head even more.
Well, like I'm sure some people do regret. Like I'm not saying it's a common regret, but probably some people do regret spending a lot of time with their family instead of their job.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of people who probably shouldn't have had kids in the first place. You know, the
Probably.
kind of people these people are trying to convince to have kids.
I mean, and there's the other thing, which is maybe they didn't regret having children specifically, but maybe having children so early before they could, you know, support themselves and a family.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
Like they may not
Something that I want.
regret their kids entirely. And, you know, how many people are on their deathbed regretting all that Russian money they took over their lives?
Yeah.
Good, man.
And
It's been a lot of that, by the way.
It's and there's a lot of stress.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a lot of pressure.
Church, too.
And there's also a lot of people. You know, if you look at a lot of the pollings, you know, the data is highlighting how young men want to have families and kids,
Yeah.
but young women don't. More and more.
They want a
progressively.
career.
That's the terrifying aspect.
They want the thing that
of
you-
all of this.
Is that terrifying? That's fine. Let
Yeah.
them.
It's fine.
You know,
Who cares?
history is filled with dudes who couldn't have kids but wanted them anyway. Like, you're not guaranteed to have kids in life.
Right.
You know, the government doesn't assign you a fertile wife. As
Yeah.
much as these guys would love that system, that system would be horrifying.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
the thing that when you're in your deathbed, to your point, you don't even care about.
Yeah.
Why, like, how did that lie get implanted in their brains? But literally, to your point, if you have this fact that at your deathbed, everybody wants to be surrounded by their loved ones. They don't think about the job. They don't think about any of that. They think about the people closest to them. That's the thing that will matter most to you on your deathbed. Yep. You should live your life in reverse, thinking about that truth, right? And yet somehow young women have believed a lie that the thing they care about most is their career.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, why? This is so frustrating. There's no reason that these guys should be saying it's definitely a lie that the thing you care about most is your career. If that's what you care about most, then fine.
I'm sure, like, I don't want to go look for it, but I'm sure these same guys were the ones they're saying that you should really just work really hard at your job and make money, hustle culture kind of bros.
Yeah.
You seem like the type.
And if it's really important to you to have kids, but you also want to wait a while, to the point where it would be more difficult to have kids, you have the option, because of modern medical science, to have your eggs frozen and have those available to you at a later date.
Yeah. And the other thing I just realized is these guys are complaining about these leftists who don't want to have children. Don't they want them to, like, die out? Like, is that, like, what's their problem?
Yeah. I would think less leftists having kids would be their
yeah.
I
mean, if they believe that your kids take on the same political ideology you have,
which oftentimes is not the case.
That is very much so.
Yep.
My great grandparents did for work. I just know I have a ton of cousins, and it's a beautiful thing.
Right? There's a little bit of hypocrisy in me saying this, and I acknowledge that, but also go to church.
Yeah.
It was,
Does Simple not go to church?
On the culture war talking about.
I don't know.
Because there's hypocrisy from say that.
If you want to go to church, go to church. If you don't want to go to church, don't go to church.
Yeah.
Church is not really valuable.
It's actually kind of the opposite of valuable, right? Because you have to give money, right? Although, I mean, there's social support that some people find value in.
Like, I understand.
But there's other ways of getting that.
Yeah, I understand people going to church to be a part of a community. Right. And humans really like that. They like to be parts. They like to be a part of a community.
Yeah.
Which, fine, great. If that's the community you want to be a part of, absolutely go and do that. Yeah. I would say that if you don't believe in the religion, probably you should find another community. Or if the religion is harmful to you, you should find another community. So in other words, like, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, maybe think about, like, all the harm that the Jehovah's Witness, the church, Kingdom Hall or whatever they call their church. Think about all the harm that causes to you, especially as a woman. Because they treat women very poorly in that church. Yeah. They treat men poorly too, but women especially.
Yeah.
And they're not the only ones.
I'll do a little tangent on Jehovah's Witness for a moment. I got a really weird letter in the mail. I don't know if you got one like this, but it was, I don't know if it was actually handwritten, but it was definitely made to look like it was handwritten, like everything on the envelope and everything. And inside the letter itself was like on, like lined paper, for you having like school or something. And I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like, "Oh, these hard times, well, we should be doing something to better ourselves," or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of a general, "You're not feeling great about your life" or something kind of thing. We're all feeling the same thing. Blah blah blah. And then at the bottom, it was, signed by whoever, but then it was like, you should check out this website. And it just said like jw.com or something like that.
JW.org.
And I'm like, is that Jehovah's Witness?
Yep.
Like, it was very strange.
Yeah. They tend to not advertise that they are the Jehovah's Witnesses when they try and recruit you.
Yeah, it was they're really trying to get under the radar there, but it was very weird. They're trying so hard.
Yeah. And that's pretty common to most religions is they will try and prey on people who are in a bad spot in their life.
Right.
You know, they'll say, come to church and you can be a part of this community and we'll help you through this tough time. And that help is usually like pretty minuscule compared to like what a normal society does through the government.
Yeah.
But, you know, we, as Americans, we've just decided that it's everyone for himself. And, you know, once I have mine, fuck you.
Right.
So, yeah. That leaves open the door for a lot of religions to prey on people who are in need.
Yeah.
Exorcisms, and he asked me. He asked me. I said I grew up Catholic. He's like, oh, so you're a baptized Catholic? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, so you still are? You haven't come back yet? And I was like, sure. I don't consider. I'm not a Christian. I'm not going to pretend to be. There are a lot of people that I think try to play that angle because it'll get.
So he's not a Christian, but he wants people to go to church.
I don't know.
He wants everyone to go to church.
Does he mean like Sunday assembly or something?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
I'm followers, or whatever. I do believe in God, but I recognize the function of church and how important it was to.
He believes in God, but he's not a Christian. So is he Jewish? He was raised Catholic.
Don't know. He's spiritual, but not religious. I don't know.
Does he not believe in Christ? Or does he think that in order to be Christian, you have to go to church?
Is he a deist?
Maybe.
I don't know.
This is very strange. Why would someone believe in God, want everyone to go to church, but also not call himself a Christian and not go to church himself?
Yeah, I don't know.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
To our civilization, a weekly gathering place of people of shared moral values and tradition that allowed a society to anchor itself. And what's happened over the past generation.
I mean, you could say the exact same thing about like a bike club.
Yeah.
You know, or a bowling club.
Right.
Or a book club. You know, I was talking to a friend recently who is part of a group that picks a new cookbook every week and picks, you know, everyone in the group picks a recipe out of the cookbook and cooks it and then brings it to their meetings.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And guess what? You don't have to fake believing in God to join.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably have to cook to join, but
every week I drive a fairly long distance to go to a place and pay money to, you know, draw naked people. So it's like the same thing.
I mean, every week you and I meet here and talk about Tim Pool.
It's the Church of Sylph. It's
Yep.
a new name, right? For
Welcome
our show.
to the Church of Sylph.
That's right.
Tithing is 50% of your income, and it's due now.
That's right.
Especially with my generation, they don't go to church. They don't have a place. And I think it's left a void in young people, millennials. And so they tried to fill it with some kind of purpose, and they found wokeness. And a more
What?
Everything I don't like is woke. I wonder, so the bike club that I was in was like a training group for the AIDS life cycle.
Hold on. You were in a bicycle club or a cycling club.
Bicycle, not
Took me a second because I'm like, you rode motorcycles? You were like in a biker gang? What's going on?
The cycling club that I was in was
you're in a motorcycle gang with pink ears. Yeah.
Yep. But it was a training group for the AIDS life cycle, which is a charity bike ride every year that rides from San Francisco to Los Angeles. And I did that for 4 years. Actually 5 years, but one of the years I did not ride. I did all the training and then I got hurt like a week before the actual ride. So I was a roadie that year. I was driving one of the vans that goes and helps people when their bikes break down. Anyway, so that club being, the AIDS life cycle in San Francisco, as you could imagine, was majority gay.
Yeah.
Which personally, if you've never been, like, as a straight person, if you've never been absolutely surrounded by gay people, like you are in the minority in that place, do it. Like, it is an amazing experience. And it really shows you, like, how different it is to be the vast minority in a group, you know, because like I would get hit on a lot on there, like guys would hit on me, and it was like, I don't care if a guy, I'm flattered by it, but like, it shows how it's like to be a part of that community that is such a small minority compared to the overall population, because lesbians get hit on by straight dudes all the time.
Yep.
Gay dudes get hit on by straight women. Probably not quite as much as the previous example, but it happens. And it kind of shows you what it's like to be on the receiving end of that. Yeah. Which to me, I don't care, because it's like I'm perfectly comfortable in my sexuality, and I'm not gonna, be mad at someone for being attracted to me. But for a lot of people, that idea is so scary to them. The idea that like people would assume that you're gay and start hitting on you. Yeah. It scares generally conservatives. It scares them like crazy. And it's an experience. But anyway, my point about all this was, I guarantee you, Tim Pool would say that I was doing that because I had to replace some void with wokeness.
Yeah.
I was doing it because I really like to ride a bicycle. Right. And it was a good cause. So, you know, double benefit.
Should get back to doing that.
That was actually before the term woke got co-opted by the Republicans. So they probably would have called it something, but it wouldn't have been woke at the time.
SJWs was before woke, right?
Yeah,
and
probably. They probably would have called me an SJW.
PC culture or something.
Yep. Yeah.
Amorphous, nondescript, nebulous, non-theistic religion. They have jammed into the holes in their chest, and they have tried to find ways to feel like they matter.
And
they're doing bad things because of it. Simply described as, with the vacant hearts they have.
Doing bad things because of, is bicycling 500 miles a bad thing?
It's a very bad thing. Can't believe you did that,
man. Man, for charity too. Fuck, I would have thought that was a good thing. Man,
is drawing naked people bad? I don't.
I guess I should go sit in a pew. And hate gay people.
That's right.
Is that the good thing? Is that what I should
sit
do?
Sit in some incredibly uncomfortable benches.
Yeah. The worst is Catholic Mass. I don't know if you've ever been to a Catholic Mass, but like normally in church you just sit there and listen to the preacher.
Yeah.
But in Catholic Mass, they have you like, I don't even know how to describe it. They basically have you dance. They're like, all right, everybody sit, now kneel, now stand, now kneel, now sit, now stand, kneel, stand, sit, kneel. Yeah. Now shake everyone's hand around you. Now come up and eat a cracker.
A friend of mine got married, and we had a Catholic service, and it was in a Catholic church, and I was around a bunch of people. He was in my fraternity, so it was a bunch of other fraternity brothers, long after college, so whatever. But like none of us had been in the Catholic church, and we're like trying to we couldn't figure out what the thing was that came down in front of us. This is like a kneeling board or something that you pull down.
Yeah, you pull it down onto the ground, and then you kneel on that.
Yeah, and they had us doing a bunch of stuff, and the priest had a very thick Irish accent. And we kept expecting him to, say something about his Lucky Charms, it was
Matthew. That is culturally insensitive.
and very insensitive, very funny, and very hard to hold in. Like, it sounded exactly like the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed going to this Catholic mass with, I had an ex-girlfriend who was Catholic, and she was Mexican. So we would go to this Catholic church down near the border, and it was all in Spanish. So, I was learning Spanish at the time, but I wasn't really fluent. So I could only understand some of it. But what I really enjoyed is after the 2-hour mass, which I don't know why Catholic masses are so freaking long.
Yeah.
But after that, we'd all go out behind the church. Well, some of us would go out behind the church, and there's this little Mexican lady who would sell these homemade tamales, which were the best tamales I've ever had in my life. They were so good. And she'd sell them for like $1 each, which is a really good price. This is back in like 2006. So like, they've probably gone up in price, but
probably $2 now, but
but like it was a really good price even for then. And God, I would just buy like 5 of those and just devour them. They were so good.
Okay.
It almost made the Catholic mass worth it.
Almost.
They stuffed them full of demons.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Stuffed them full of demons. Wait, the hole in my chest? Is that what's stuffed full of demons?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I had a hole in my chest. But fuck, man, if it was the AIDS life cycle ride that stuffed it full of demons, those got to be some fucking fashionable demons. Some
culturally insensitive.
Some flamboyant demons. Some what I would call the fun demons.
what we've talked about quite a bit is the I call it the Saturday morning cartoons we're trying to do with our cafe, where Saturday mornings, to not interfere with church, parents bring their kids.
Like, imagine you wake up and there's this little demon like popping out of your chest going, "Hey girl, hey." You're like, "Oh, what's up, little guy?"
Like the alien guy?
Yeah.
No.
Except he's like your friend.
Pops out of chest. Oh, okay.
You can ask him for advice.
Right.
And then he'll just like hit on you. It's cute.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do catered breakfast. The plan for this may be coming very, very soon. Very excited for this. So the work is getting done. Mamba Collectibles, go check it out. Half the building's already open. You can hang out in Martinsburg, West Virginia. But the idea is to start with a place where people can come and hang out. Their kids can come together and they can meet on shared moral values. Step one. Whether they...
Well, like in most churches, those moral values suck. Like not all. There are some churches that are like absolutely fantastic. But like most churches get their morals from the Bible. And the morals in the Bible are fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Like there are things in the Bible that even Christians would agree are absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
For example, here's an example. There's a rule in the Bible where if you're a man, you're fighting with another man, right? And your wife is over on the sidelines and she's like upset about the fight, and she comes in, tries to break up the fight, and accidentally, touches the other guy's genitals, right?
Okay.
What would you do in that situation? What would be the moral thing to do in that situation?
Laugh it off. I don't know. She
right.
Probably just apologize or something. And
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure
Basically
why genitals are
nothing.
out or while we're in a fight.
Well,
but,
no, like
whatever.
through his robe or
I think that's something other than a fight,
No, this is
The
laid out in
genitals
the
are coming
Bible.
out.
This is a specific scenario laid out in the Bible. So what the Bible says you should do in that situation is cut off her hand.
That seems a little extreme.
A little? That is incredibly extreme and absolutely
Very
disgusting
extreme,
morality.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So just one of many examples of atrocious
But-
moral teachings in the Bible.
But turn the other cheek. Come on.
I mean, there are good teachings in the Bible,
Yeah.
but you can't say,
they-
oh, the Bible's good because it has good teachings, because it also has a lot of terrible teachings.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, but that's what happens is like these Christians will always pull out the better ones, right? The better moral teachings, like turn the other cheek or something like that, and say, how can you say the Bible has bad morals? It's like ignoring all the other crap.
Yeah. I'll give you another example. So let's say you're a couple parents, right? And your kid, we'll say your son, is just being unruly, right? He's just not listening to you. He's just being a jerk. And you don't really know what to do. So you consult the Bible, right? What does the Bible say to do in that situation where your son won't listen to you? He's being a jerk. He's not, he's not doing what you tell him. What should you do?
Isn't it like in the Bible, it's like you kill your kids or something like that? It's
Kill him.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
kill him. That's right. A little bit far. It's also
it's like, God, what
also
should I do about my unruly son? And God's just like,
kill him. Yeah. Also, isn't it like if there's kids who make fun of an old guy, they should be eaten by bears?
Well, it doesn't say that as a moral teaching, but it is a story where God does that. So if God does it, it must be right, right?
Right. Right.
So yeah, the Bible is not a good source of morality.
No.
Kill him.
And then like every couple of years, like God would just kill everybody on earth except for a couple people, right?
Hey, okay. He only did that once and he was really sorry about it.
Oh, okay.
He was really,
but he also
he felt
destroyed
really bad.
2 different entire cities.
Yeah, but that's not everyone
for
on Earth.
some nebulous reason. It's not entirely clear.
That's just
bad
thousands
people.
of people.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it's because they were being immoral.
Right.
Yeah. The
In what
entire,
way?
even the babies.
Were they not killing their kids because they were being annoying?
Right. They're like, no, he's just being a little jerk. That's what teenagers are.
Yeah.
God's just like,
If we killed
if
all
you
the
don't kill that
teenagers-
kid, if you don't kill that kid, I will raise your city to the ground.
If we killed all the teenagers who are acting a little bit like jerks, we wouldn't have anybody left.
Right? But that's the world Tim Pool wants.
Yeah.
The shared moral values.
That's right.
Yeah. But, God killed a lot of people in the Bible, but he only killed everyone once.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Even though he knew that he was going to do that because he knows everything, and he knew that he would feel sorry for doing it afterwards because, again, he knows everything. He still did it anyway, and he felt really sorry about it afterward. And he promised us that he'd never do it again. And he made
good.
rainbows
As long as he promised.
to remind us every time we see a rainbow, oh yeah, God killed everyone. And he was like really sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Rainbow.
Yep.
Advance beyond that to faith, religion, or church, whatever is not something that I can, commit to or comment.
Sometimes I'll be talking to Christians about that. And I'll say I'll say what I just said. God killed everyone. And they're like, no, he didn't. He didn't kill Noah and his family. I'm like,
Yeah.
my mistake. It's much better.
So, exaggerated a little bit. He didn't kill everybody.
Also, look, the Bible never says explicitly that in the beginning meant the beginning of everything. It could just be that it's the beginning of our universe and our Earth. God might have made another Earth before and just killed everyone, including, all families, every single person, and was like, fuck. I guess I got to start again.
Yeah.
And it is a beginning, the beginning of us. So, I'm just saying, Just saying. It does say that God is the Alpha and the Omega, so like he's the beginning of everything. But also, it doesn't necessarily say that the beginning in Genesis was the very, very, very beginning, that there was nothing before that. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
John is not somebody who does that, but I want to at least create that functional space where community will come together. It does already exist for those who go to church.
Yeah.
Yeah, and demonic possession is real.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to stop it right after what Tim just said because I had something to say, but I forgot after I just heard that. Demonic possession is real.
Yeah. Of course.
Oh, boy.
What are you talking about? We were just talking about being possessed by demons.
Yeah. I
And how
mean,
they'll
they're
pop
fun
out of
little
your
guys. Yeah, they pop
Yeah.
out and they go, "Hey, girl."
Yeah.
You're like, "Hey, little
Right.
demon guy, how's it going?"
Yeah.
See,
In the morning,
in
like
real
when you
life.
wake
I
up.
don't want to speak about my
Pretty sure that's your cat
But when,
She is a little demon. She's
on your
the
chest
best demon.
saying, "Feed me."
She's the best demon in the world.
Yeah.
a lot of the ideas that a lot of these people are kind of centralizing around lust, pride, envy. When we look at all of those virtues, it's sold to us as social media clout. It's
You know, God is actually not prideful at all.
Right. Never.
Also not
Perfect.
envious or jealous,
No.
which is why in the
Right.
Bible it says he's a jealous God, and the first two commandments are specifically about how he is God, and you can't worship anything else other than
Yeah.
him, or he'll get super upsetty spaghetti.
Right.
sold to us like we should
It is funny to me that Christians are like, you should not have these attributes, and then it's like,
God has it. Yeah.
the attributes that specifically God has in the Bible, I should not
Yeah.
have those attributes, so I should not be godly.
Yeah.
Do not try to be godly.
try to achieve those things for some kind of fake artificial like or community, but in reality, when you kind of delve into a lot of those things, they're extremely empty and they kind of take away your soul. And and I believe there are aspects of mainline kind of establishment society very
Sorry, what is empty and takes away your soul? Anything other than God? Is that what he was talking about? Or just like community is other than
Wokeness?
God?
Wokeness, I think, because I think they blame
Wokeness.
everything on wokeness.
Wokeness, okay. Yeah, so like riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
very kind of powerful.
You cannot be a good Christian and ride a bicycle. There are no bikes in the Bible.
That's right.
Individuals out there that do want to spread demonic possession, that do want to spread evil.
Wait, there's also not podcasts in the Bible.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't care, right?
Well,
But they're
for
the
him,
ones on a podcast talking about the Bible.
Yeah. Also, like, they're saying, oh, people want to spread demonic influence or whatever. And it's like, no, people just don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Like, you're assigning some sort of motive to someone who just doesn't believe in any of that bullshit. Like, I don't believe in
Yeah.
demons. We joke about it, but like, I don't believe in demons. Demons are not real. They don't exist. So like me saying, if you're not a Christian, just go and like join, or even if you are a Christian, go and join a bike club, join a book club, join a brick
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Do those exist?
What's a brick club?
I'm making a
Lego?
new brick club. We're all Masons. We love laying
That's
bricks.
the Freemasons.
No, we're paid. It's a paid
Oh.
subscription. Yeah.
Paid Masons.
The paid Masons.
Record numbers now.
That's why we had a priest on to talk about exorcisms, because something's out there. Thanks for checking out this.
The sun's out there. It's got to be. Sun's out there.
Sun's out.
It's something.
Sun's out.
Something.
Something's
Something.
out there.
Something.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me the way like Christians talk about that kind of stuff where, if you just like go about your business being a normal person and they're like, you're demon possessed. You're like, I actually don't mind gay people existing and being gay and getting to marry each other and being happy.
Yeah.
They're like, that's because you're
Right.
demon possessed.
You're like,
It's something's out there.
don't really believe in demons, so
I think that's something that he's thinking of is empathy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, empathy is out there. Some people,
Yeah.
not Tim Pool and not any of his co-podcasters, some people though have this thing called empathy. It's very satanic. Lots of demons making you
Anti-Christian.
care about other people
Right.
and their happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really like need empathy to like, allow gay people to exist, gay and trans people to exist, right?
Yeah, you could also just be apathetic.
I mean, you just like not be hate filled, right?
Yeah, empathy or apathy. Either one
Yeah.
works, please.
There you go.
Yeah, just don't be hateful.
Yeah.
And, Christians really value this guy named Jesus Christ and his teachings, but they don't fucking follow it.
Yeah.
Jesus explicitly taught them to not judge other people,
Yeah.
but they fucking love judging other people
Yep.
in spite of what Christ said
Yeah.
in the Bible.
It's like one of those actual like moral teachings that are kind of good. Judge not lest ye be judged.
Yep.
Yet they seem to ignore that constantly.
Yep. What are you going to do? Anyway, this has been Self Uncensored. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to see this show live, we do it every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, sometimes a little bit later. I think today we started around 11. And that's on twitch.tv/sylphweed, sylph like my name, and then weed like the stuff you smoke. Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe to the video. And don't forget to remember to hit the bell icon and choose all so that you get notified when we put out a new video. And if you want to buy my silly little merch, you can do that at icecreamonahotdog.com. And if you want to check out our other shows at Echoplex, you can do that at echoplexmedia.com. And Matt, you got anything that you want to plug?
Not at the moment, but we're working on a new video for my Power of Money channel. It will be out probably in a few weeks. Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.